Welcome to Phoenix Sim Sports.
Takes the win at Le Mans.
What a performance. Absolutely incredible racing.
The wait for season 16 is over. And with that, new challenges arrive. Word around the paddock is former champion is looking to lead Alpine.
It's another race win here for Ballicator.
Ryan Ward is making a heroic comeback after having a very difficult start.
Season 16 is here. 10 rounds, multiple circuits. It's the ultimate test of skill and endurance.
From the first green flag to the final checkered, only one can rise above. Speed, strategy, precision. The smallest mistake caused the defeat. Only the fearless will rise above. This is Phoenix Sim Sports. Season 16 begins now.
Well, after what has been an exciting 9 rounds, it is only just one ultimate decider that is left. After kicking off the season over in Bahrain, then over to Interlagos, and then over to Spa, Sebring, Imola, Fuji, Silverstone for the first time in the Le Mans Ultimate Platform, the Circuit de la Sarf at Le Mans, and finally in Portimao in Portugal. Little did we think with this calendar that we would see for the first time ever a title decider amongst us. But as you can see from the thumbnail, it is to be the case for the first time ever in the 16 seasons of the Phoenix Le Mans series. We have just that, culminating down to a grand finale. It's the first time ever that there's going to be a decider within a class, and this time it's the hypercars between Kenzo and Lorenzo. Lorenzo having just achieved his first win for his debut at the series. Previously, back in, I believe it was in Sebring, and what a good feel-good win that was for Lorenzo, and becoming one of the few drivers also to become a repeat winner. The only other driver that has actually ever done that has been Kenzo, Ben, and Daniel. But Lorenzo has done phenomenally well since round 2 over in Interlagos, and then cultivated with another race win over at Spa with his strategy completely unrivaled. Kenzo, on the other hand, he managed to do all that he possibly can last time, right round at Portimao, to keep it up to just about have a chance to clinch the championship. It's 13 points ahead, and for this it is a bit clear and a bit simple. Kenzo is hoping to win, and Lorenzo cannot come lower than 4th, I believe. Otherwise, Lorenzo will be champion. That is the precedent here at Monza. And of course the stakes have gone all the more higher as the usual 60 minutes has been increased over to the usual 2 hours for the final round. And of course the Proving Grounds grid is also joined along here today, which is going to make it an absolute spectacle of a sport, of an opportunity here. We just got about qualifying over to get with, and all the anticipation has pretty much been in the air to see what could possibly happen as we slowly get going over for Monza. And that will be practice over and done with. So of course, with it being including the preview grounds, that means that it has inflated the grid numbers just a little bit. I think we are expecting about 24 that are around here for today with the added numbers. Of course, that means some people will be making their quote-unquote Tier 1 debut as well. Hadjo Horman is indeed one of those, Proving Grounds regular, I believe, so he's going to make for his first time out. He is going to be the one leading for the field in the GT3s with the 25 minutes ticking down. Qualifying is slowly going to begin for the GT3s as the Mercedes driver leads for the field, followed by Rivera, and Bartels follows through behind with De Kock over in 4th, Wormstrad 5th, and Chabora 6th. Bradley Cater, who has been crowned champion. Oh goodness me! As there's a collision between Rivera and Bartels, as Bartels sees himself hitting the Polystene boards already early on in the race in qualifying. Unfortunate. Bradley Cater, big crowned champion last time round in Portimao, did a pretty good race victory for himself to claw back his not really mistake, but I suppose you could say a strategical mistake over at Le Mans to deny him what could have been 8 race wins in a row, but 7 race wins in a row, but wasn't at all to be for the British driver. Instead, he will only be able to clinch 5 instead of 7, and that 4th place, well, wasn't really costly, but I think for how good Cater was last season, probably was looking to etch himself up all the more closer to that, but still a very respectable fight for himself, as also good from his words, a tougher fight as well to defend from that crown that he clinched last season, and honestly one of the better championship defences that we've seen. Ryan Ward, that did the briefing just a few moments ago, has got his bets on for the championship fight. But the thing is for Ryan is that even though he did finish onto the podium, he still has never been close to achieving a race win. And if you ask him, it may also be the similar thing, although he has pointed to the Ferrari prototype as the reason for his recent struggles. And you can kind of see throughout the grid how that has been the case, especially whenever Lorenzo and Kenzo, the 2 protagonists fighting out for the championship here tonight, are both actually donning the Peugeots, I believe. And Ben War also in a Peugeot. I think all 3 of them are in Peugeots in the top 3. Only Goschlak just outside, and Dov Myers in the top 5 are the only ones not down in the Peugeots. So Goschlak in the Porsche, and Dov, I believe, is in the Lamborghini. No, they're both in the Porsches. What am I on about? So we'll see with how it will come for the newcomer in Horman 37083 in the first one. So we've already got a lot of comments over here. As for the community, if I can't participate in the race, that's such a shame. I would love to have you there. I wouldn't have been getting you the Maximum. I definitely wouldn't have. Bardo's my goat. Maxi, I'm here. I have fun. Oh, that's nice. We'll have the session about the tour, the session info, the tower. We'll have the qualifying information as well for Horman. He's just going to exit through the final corner. Monza is not really known to be a title-deciding fight unless if you're in the Italian Formula 4s, but it's a unique approach. Don't really see it much in sim racing, seeing Monza as a championship decider. It's usually seen as either a midpoint or almost an approach to the finale. Horman, the first one to set up on the board with a 151.6. Rivera gets him beat with a 51.3. Wormstrad has done a 51.9. Bartels crosses the line of 52.1. And De Kock is going to exit around for the final corner in the BMW. Over for the Dutch Racing Team livery that he has. He'll pre-somewhere for 5th, 154.8. And Chabora goes through across the line. 209. Brady Lex one over for the line with Cater not here. He's got a good chance to get maybe his first race win, or his second race win of this season. Second or first? I think it might be first. Yes, his first race of the season. Came so close over to second and third. I was thinking because with Kader not winning, it was Wormstrad that managed to pick up that. And currently Wormstrad sits over in third. So actually this might be the most competitive that we've seen GT3s in a long while. Between Rivera, Horman, Wormstrad and Brady, we've got a chance for a 4-car way battle for the lead, for the race will lead. Ooh, and Wormstrad struggles a bit much through Scary onto the grass, and will have to be very careful upon rejoining, but he does rejoin pretty well. As now attention draws back over to Servert Klepper. I'm on a season disqualification. Oh, with the license review. Ah, okay. See, so that was for the incident you seen previously back in. Yeah, I can understand. There we go. Oh, unfortunate. Bartels for the line. Threw up in a second. A good performance there from the Dutch driver. Holds on there. Lepa I don't think has improved yet, so Horman has done improved. In fact, he's now retaken provisional pole. Rivera, previously the provisional pole sitter, now jumped all the way down to 4th. Bartels 3rd still. So we'll see if can Horman approve. So I don't know what's going on. I can't keep the track right now. I'm starting from the back today. That's from Samuel. Oh, there you go. Horman's improved. He's gone 1/10 quicker. Ooh. A tiny on exit Samuel. So that will be Samuel Bellman. I see. So he's starting from the back, so we'll keep that for in mind. Horman is improving still. That's the second fastest that we've seen anyone do the second sector. Only Rivera has done quicker. For the final corner, though, is it improvement enough for Horman? Come on, Lorenzo, need that championship. Go across the line. It is an improvement just about. Was Rivera going to respond? He'll go across the line, and he will retake provisional pole. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock here in the GT3s, and Rivera, with the tightest of margins that we've seen in GT3 qualifying, has retaken provisional pole out from Hayo Horman. This is honestly looking to be a very, very good race indeed. Hayo Horman, I think the newcomer from Germany here. I will have a look over through his previous records. I just assumed he was from the Proving Grounds, but didn't actually really do my research on him. I think this might actually be his debut, if I were to guess. Does seem to be like that. Previous experiences over in the Purple Sector Racing, Snail Pace, an old school racing team. Ooh. Very, very well experienced in the categories though. Has bunched up a lot of wins to his name. 45 wins in total. With 83% attendance. 300 starts as well. And 43 fastest laps. So definitely mightily impressive resume he has. Is it going to improve anything more? Simon says I think it's his first race today. I believe so as well. Through the final corner, Horman does go. He's been 800ths faster first sector, a full 10th quicker in the second, and this could push himself not only jump ahead of Rivera, but maybe a good enough cushion, and it is an improvement. 2/10 of a gap. Rivera responds. No, he cannot. He does not respond. He only stays in second. And just so close from breaking over to the 49 mark. He was only 5/10 off. Brady coming over for the Parabolica. Through the final corner he's going to go. The inside for the apex, then swings right down to the outside. And then going to plant the throttle down. Right up until the line. Previously holding on to third, now down to fourth. He goes across the line as not improvement enough for him. Klepper was the one that crossed the line. He now he takes P3 away from Brady. Bartels, I don't think there might be enough not time, but we'll see. That might be that's not Shabor behind. That is Wormstrand down behind. That's sitting over at 6th position. Carver now approaching through to the final quarter. I think they might still be going on, but I'm not quite sure. Still purple all around. Final corner. He will go again, another purple one around. So he's still finding improvements around. And that's pushed it over to 5/10 quicker. In his first race, wow. And Rivera still couldn't respond. Klepper through to the Parabolica, he's gonna go. A bit yellow in the second sector, 5/10 off. Slow. Let's see what he'll be able to do. That'll be an improvement, and no, it will not be. 51.078, which is about actually a little bit slow. Wormstrand improves to 4th, displaces Brady even further. So for the man that was in 3rd, he's now down to 5th. Bartels still in 6th though. The cock in the pits will not improve anymore. Rivera improving. Still improving actually, so not a little bad from him. As soon as I saw that he loses about 5/10 into the second sector. Oh goodness me, a lot on the curb on the exit out of Ascari. And we'll indeed head into the pits. Qualifying over and done with, and Horman, I think we've just said, first race today, takes his first pole position here in the Phoenix Le Mans series. In a pretty good, convincing fashion too, 5/10 over. As Bartels that goes across the line and sweeps over to take the final podium position on the grid. Displaces Bartels, and it's going to be exciting. Look at that improvement there from Klepper actually. 2/10 off from Rivera, and look at that gap between Bartels and Wormstrand. Klepper and Wormstrand is about a full 100th off between each other. That's going to be the hypercars now. all the eyes and all the attentions now drawing towards it. Newcomer Urin Yogan has joined in over in the Cadillac. Not a very rarity, but definitely an interesting one to follow. I think this must also be his debut for him as well in Phoenix. In the Phoenix Le Mans series. And we've also got Oliver Walter as well, also in the Cadillac. Romington makes upon his return in the Ferrari as well. And it's going to be the Dutchman leading over through the field today. George Romington, of course, his last appearance being in Silverstone after previously showing his cases in the Proving Ground. Good chance to maybe pick up his first finish in the... Well, this isn't really the full class, but his first finish within within the league involving the Tier 1 drivers. I think will be a good resume to add. Evo Francis completes over through to the top 10. Oliver Walter, again a new driver in, I believe, also in the Cadillac, similar to his teammate. Previously been in the Formula Alpha Challenge here within Phoenix Sim Sports. Did finish over 9th as well upon his also his debut this season after a series of podium finishes around. So not a newcomer at all, a regular one. And we're going to start the first lap here from Urin Yogan. Down over to turn 1. Very hard brake zone over. Seen over nearly going about 300 kilometers an hour. Down to 62 on the apex. Swings on the exit. Down from turn 3. Keep it in the middle of the track as you want. You can go deviate just a little bit off it, but not too much, because you want to nail your turns for here. Second chicane upcoming. First Lesmo. Little tap on the brakes as you want. Nail that exit point and then keep hugging it over for the second Lesmo. Second longest straight on the exit of the Lesmo. Flat out for this curve. Goes straight down. Right underneath the old Monza circuit. Swings right back up. And then another tap of the brakes. Ascari, one of the most unique corners in the entire motorsport world. Nothing quite real like it. The thin curbs does mean that you have to be very careful from it. Really see the sun starting to set around as Yogan 31.9, 33.4. Final corner for Parabolic Cup. Swings right round. Hug onto the outside as much as you possibly want on the second half of it. If the first one is going to be through entry. And a representative lap time for Yogan has been a 1:37.4. Luis, not quite yet. Oliver has managed to respond at 1:36.2. And Ryan Wart, 36.5. 3/10 off. Ben Wart has not managed, does respond, but not quite fast as his brother. Robington through a 1:38. Kenzo crosses the line, and look at that gap. It is 5/10 off. Wow. And this is the important gap for the championship. We have to keep an eye between Kenzo and Lorenzo. 8/10 is what separates between Kenzo and Lorenzo here. But Lorenzo, more importantly, is still on that podium position. Oh my god, my Mustang is a diva. Oliver, fastest on the first sector. Personal improvement on the second. Is it enough to bridge the gap closer? It is. He's cut that gap in half between himself and Kenzo. Although that final sector may be a bit costly. 310 slow. Jeez. Oh my goodness me! And that's Kenzo having a very, very big scare. I don't think he was expecting Walter to commit to that corner. Lorenzo down to 5th. He'll go across the line. That's not an improvement enough for him, as he'll stay in 5th and split in between the Ward brothers. Right into the pits. Ben is currently round through turn 3. Yannick Zeller in the Aston Martin has done a phenomenal job actually in the Valkyrie. Usually seen anywhere outside the top 5, but this is might be the closest that we see Yannick to pose a threat to the podium, and a bit too much onto the gravel. That's Kenzo in the background. Of course, Kenzo's going to benefit a lot from the Aston Martin slipstream as well, as long as he keeps it free tidy. Bjorn Rasmussen sets a lap time, 8.5 seconds off from pole position, 6.7 off. I think we're expecting to see a representative lap time from him soon. Ooh, goodness me, lot onto the gravel. Yannick is really pushing that car as much as he possibly can. Kenzo is indeed on his outlap. Oliver, the final corner. Back into the pits. What about Yannick? Yellow all over the board. 510 slow, 610 slow, 410 slow. Bit too rusty for his liking. Ben Ward improves to 3rd and displaces Sedlar on the podium places. Romington does go across the line 5th. You're in 6th. Lorenzo down to 7th. But Lorenzo, look at that! He's gone across the line and he is taking provisional pole 3/10 faster than Kenzo! With almost 2.5 minutes left to go. What a lap time that was from Lorenzo. Wow. The pressure's onto Kenzo now to respond. They're both going to go absolutely at it tonight. Heading over through to the apexes. You can see the shaking that's happening over at Kenzo's car. Final corner. The final sector. Upcoming bit of a lock up there from Kenzo. You can see those disc brakes really burning. Let's see for Yannick for what he can do. Evo, think that might have been an improvement. No, that will actually be Urin who's gone back into the podium places. And Yannick for the final corner. Improvement all round. It looks to be 2nd for the Aston Martin. And so it does. Kenzo. No improvements for the first 2 sectors at all from him. And that more or less confirms it. Oliver. On his outlap. Joel Dramington and over to the pits. Ryan Wharton, the the second sole Ferrari here. Final quarter for Ryan. Personal improvement the first sector. 410 slow compared to the pole sitter in the second. Enough to balance it out? Don't think it is. Beyond Rasmussen, Romington and Wart are the only ones in the Ferrari actually. So there's that 3 to keep in mind. Yannick. Is he going one better? Hard to tell. Lorenzo slowed. And that's his qualifying over and done with. Kenzo is also to the pits. That's his qualifying also and done with. So the way it stands, Lorenzo has set a time faster than Kenzo. 2/10 is the gap that Hendricks is clear from Sedlar. And Yannick doesn't close it in. The checker flag has indeed dropped. And that's everyone's laps more or less over and done with. Oliver coming out from Ascari. Might be one of the last ones to set a representative lap time, if possible. We'll see what the Cadillac can do. Goes through across the line. And that will be third for Oliver, and he punches his ticket onto a podium place in the grid. Ryan Ward out for the final quarter. Not improvement to be made. Johan Rasmussen is actually looking to improve a little bit. 2/10, about 3/10 or so off. Oh, brief yellow flag somewhere. I think that might be... Not sure that might be actually. He will indeed set a lap time finally for at the end. Rasmussen. And that will be crossing the line. A 1:49. And Jordan has elected to go into the pits, which means that is qualifying over and done with. Wow. Great race, I must say. And then we can have a look through the session results. GT3's first. It is Hal Horman, upon his Phoenix Simsport debut, takes pole position here. 5/10 clear from Kevin Rivera over at second, with Severin Klepek rounding off through the podium places in third for today's race. Very soon. Bartels through fourth, Wormstrand in fifth, with Stuart Brady in sixth, Hardecock in seventh. And Paul Shabor represents the lap times. Those that have completed their lap times, with Bellman the only one we have confirmation of that's not set a lap time, starting from the back. GT3 is over. Now it's over to the hypercars. Lorenzo Hendricks, a very, very important championship important pole position for the Dutchman. And Yannick Sedlar recording his best qualifying result this season, punching his ticket up into second for the Aston Martin. Oliver Walter doing the same for his Cadillac upon his appearance in this race in Monza in the series. With Kenzo Christian Blin, the championship protagonist, to Lorenzo over in fourth. Joran Jungen, the debutant here for Phoenix Le Mans series, over in fifth. The Cadillac, with Ben Ward in the Peugeot for sixth. Eva Francis in the BMW for seventh, with George Remington for the Ferrari in eighth, with Ryan Ward ninth, also in the Ferrari, and Benito Luis completing through to the top 10, with Bjorn Rasmussen, the only other driver to set a lap time. He will start over from 11th. Big thank you over to Aztec Simsports for today's generous support here today. You can use for the code Phoenix Simsport 5% out on discount. Be sure to use the code Phoenix Simsport at checkout for that sweet 5%.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
And that was going to be us. After what has been a very exciting many races through this year. This race will mark for an end of the Phoenix Le Mans Championship. The sun sets at Monza as they all prepare for that final race today. The start order for today's race, as we go for once again. Lorenzo Hendricks, the championship leader, starts on pole with Yannick Sedlar, the Aston Martin, over completely for row 1. Oliver Walter in third. Kenzo Christian Blin will join alongside him in fourth. Fifth, it is a debutant in Joran Jürgen in fifth, with Ben Wart, previous championship protagonist. He's currently languishing over in sixth. Eva Francis in seventh for the BMW, with George Remington in the Ferrari for eighth. Then it's going to be Ryan Wart in the Ferrari in ninth, with Benito Luis in the Peugeot to complete for row 5. Row 6, Bjorn Rasmussen. And Hal Horman is the one that will lead the charge over, that starts the pole, with Caravero that will start alongside him over in the first row. Server Klappa is the one in third. He will be alongside Michael Bartels for fifth. Emmett Wormstrand, sixth, followed by Stuart Brady in seventh. Howard O'Cock in eighth. Paul Shamar in ninth, with Samuel Bellman rounding off. Nine races have gone by. Only 13 points is the difference between Lorenzo and Kenzo. It's the point difference that all is needed to call yourself a champion in the hypercar category at Phoenix Sim Sports. Today, between the Dutchman and the Frenchman, this is the only race that is going to separate their fate. To see who will be called champion here. The green flag drops and we're on the way here at Monza for the final time of the series. Kenzo's gone 3 wide already in between Yannick Oliver and himself. And look at this. This is going to be Jorn also joining along for the fight. Meanwhile, Kenzo's got a great start. Lorenzo's got a great start indeed to hold on through as Kenzo's doing his best to gain positions. Down over to turn 1 they'll go. Oh, Cameron Rivera's got to jump through penalty. And trying to battle along side by side with Hal Horman. To no avail. Oliver Walter going side by side, trying to look down into the inside of Lorenzo. Down for turn 4, but Lorenzo denies him. Kenzo still holds on for the third. And look at this. Rivera and Hayo still in a massive battle. Once again, Hayo spins round, makes contact, and Wormstrand collects him as well. Rivera has already suffering from a drive-through penalty anyways, but this is very unfortunate there. Super unfortunate. And he's come off much worse of it. Kenzo managed to make the overtake onto Oliver for second place. That's a yellow flag somewhere. I think that might be Oliver, and it is Oliver. Oh, goodness me, that's so awkward of a position to be in. Hopefully he'll be fine. He should be fine. And he will be. Now, Rivera leads. But look at this, battle for P3 between Sedlar and Wart. Wart looking down into the inside on turn 1. Even Frantics against Louise also happening alongside. They both bang wheels. Don't think Ben Wart has given any space to do so. He takes evasive action. Obviously that's Louise taking evasive action as well. And they both lose out. Wart up into P3. And Frantics up into... Actually, Sedlar is actually dropping a lot down. This is actually going to cost him 2 positions as a result of that exit. With your holding on, but Yannick cuts him off. And the battle of the Dutchman's end with Sedlar on top. Wormstrand and Klappa rounding off through the pony of places. Rivera holds on to a very comfortable lead, 1.4 seconds of the gap. And here we go, Wormstrand and Klappa side by side almost. But Wormstrand still has a comfortable gap up a bit ahead. Ascari, Remington and Wart will go. The Ferraris battling out for it. Final corner now. 156. Oh, very good go. Evo. Bit of a mistake, I think, for the final corner. Maybe that might have been. It could have been. I think Benito Luis had to respond accordingly, but being them slow means that Wart has managed to catch up to him. And now with the slipstream to his avail, he's going to have a look down to the inside of him, but it's not going to be close enough. Al Horman, I think, still suffering a bit. Oliver, I think he's making his way back onto the field now as he makes his overtake on two. Here's Bartles over in fourth. But Bellman, ooh, looking over to, flashing his lights over to the cock for maybe to notify he is there a bit. Joining in seventh on 777. That is, oh my goodness me. Paul, that is so close there. A little bit squirrely on the exit out of Lesmo. Means Brady's gonna have a look over fruit, but he cuts him off a bit. Oh, and Shabora spins around and hits the wall. Devastating there for Paul. Ooh. I mean, the good thing about these is that it's a very long race, so I think some of this does indeed happen a little bit. And then Yannick, P3. Gap seems to be extending a little bit more. Oh, and Yannick cuts the track. Don't think Mike used his attention to do so. I think he just overcooked the corner. And we've got pit stops already. That is that's Rivera serving his drive-through. And his drive-through he will serve means that Klepper is now the new race leader in the GT3 categories. With Bartol second, Wormstrad third, De Clark fourth, and Bellman completes over through to the top five. Bellman, who has started in the back row, to climb his way up into fifth in the span of a couple of minutes has been honestly massively impressive. Then into the hypercar as Lorenzo leads from Kenzo, Ben, and Yannick. With Jorn Jorgen completes over through to the top five. Oh, I think I just seen someone going side by side. That is Horman that has got himself up into the top 5 places. Ooh, with the ballsy overtake on the cock to get himself up in the P5. And he is indeed a man on a mission. Can't remember that these two had collided just a mere moments ago. Rivera has served his drive-through. So that means that Hayo is completely alone in this duel, or winning that duel, between himself and Kevin. Would there be a chance in the match? It's all for determined or for show. The slipstream. Let's look over through to the comments. "2 hours, goddamn." And my coat. It's lights out, and away we go with the virus this season. Start love that. Good luck to both contenders. I love that. Love that comment, Maxine. Well done. 10 out of 10. Io Horman now has we do see Kenzo, and that is Hendricks. We'll see between these two if something materializes. Oh, goodness me, that's a bit of a wobble there from, I think that might have been Shabora. That is Yannick and Jorn going side by side almost a bit. Yannick still holds on for the 4th place. Jorn in 5th. Benito Luis in 5th with Ryan War over in 7th. He's out a little bit out of the way though. 4-car battle in the hypercars. And look at this battle side by side between Bellman and Ohio for P4. Horman a better speed, I believe. No, he's not. Actually, Bellman's got the better speed, so he seems to be more running less downforce. Will they be important for the corners coming up, though? Oh my goodness me, that is so close. And they're still going side by side on exit. And what an overtake Bellman did on Horman. Wow. That was phenomenal. Nice job, Samuel. That was fantastic. Brady and DeCock in the background, still going side, still fighting out for P6 this time. As Hayo tries to have a look down over through. Oh my goodness me! Howard has gone off wide. Did that distract Bellman a bit from his defense? Bellman still holds on to the line. That's Kenzo moving his way through past. Oh goodness me! Kenzo's overtaken Lorenzo! But that's been very costly for him on exit. And Lorenzo's going to respond. Hooks it through onto the slipstream. So off camera, Kenzo and Lorenzo have indeed exchanged positions. But that fight that we've just seen from the GT3s was almost costly for Kenzo. Oh goodness me, someone's gone off track. That would be Ben Ward, I believe. I think Horman did manage to finally overtake, and he has done so. One hour 47 minutes left to go. Still a lot of guesses here between Lorenzo and Kenzo here. Oh my goodness, we won an overtake. That was around for Ascari, as Lorenzo's going to respond with the better move on exit, and they're going to go side by side right on exit. Purchase refer to the far corner that they'll go Lorenzo and Kenzo. Possibilities for who will come out on top. Lorenzo might have the better racing line, but Kenzo's going to give him his all. Oh, goodness me, they made contact! Still contact, but still fair game. The two Japanese protagonists are dueling out here in Monza. And Kenzo seems to have the better speed, heading over. He fits the apex first, but Lorenzo holds it in through! Gives him a little bit of squeeze, that's still fine. Straight on exit, Lorenzo on for the outside line. Kenzo to the inside. They're still holding it in. I cannot believe it. Down over through the second sector. Oh goodness me, another bit of contact. They're still gonna go side. This is nearly an entire lap of going side by side. The first Lesmo. Is it enough for Lorenzo to hold on for the lead? Yes, it is! And their entire lap of going side by side! You have never seen anything like it in Le Mans Ultimate. I surely haven't. That was incredible. Wow. I cannot believe that. Wow, that was incredible. It's over 2021 all over again. Thank you, Maxime. Thank you, Maverick and Maxime again for the check P1s. And RT Burkris, thank you very much as well for the follow as well. That was incredible. It was nearly an entire lap actually. And that was so close. I cannot believe it. I honestly cannot believe it. Wow. And the amazing thing is, there are fights going on elsewhere. Ryan Ward on most of his charge. Overtakes Jorn Jorgen for P5. And a very good overtake it is. But Jorn is still not done yet. Gonna go side by side for turn 3. Holds on through with a little bit better speed. And the Dutchman might make clear of it. But the championship winner of last season may have something up his sleeve. Look at this. A bit of a cut through. Down to the inside. Outside. Lesmo he'll go, and that'll be probably enough to clear Ryan out of Jorn. And Maverick, I'm sure, will be definitely proud of this, as Ferrari has not been the easiest of cars to challenge through throughout the entire season. But you cannot deny Ryan has indeed gave it his all to defend his crown last season, which I think might be a bit of a good sign for him. It really has gone to show. Oh my goodness me! Sideways! And Ryan Ward spins! And he's dropped 2 positions in the process. Jorgen has also lost a position. Benito Luis has gone out to 5th. Unfortunate. You can sort of smell the blood in the water, as there might be another duel coming up in full swing between Lorenzo and Kenzo. A bit of dueling that's happened a couple of minutes prior. Could be looking for something of a sequel. Straight on exit. We'll see now if Ken's out. And as soon as we mentioned that, Remington's retired. We will look back for that, if there is a possibility for that. 1 hour, 42 minutes left to go. We've already seen our first duel between Lorenzo and Kenzo. That's how much the Phoenix Le Mans Series Hypercar Championship means to them. Something that those two have been dueling through all season long. Kenzo 3 race wins, Lorenzo with 2. Lorenzo got his first race win in the Phoenix Le Mans Series just this season. And a chance to call himself a championship favourite would be something that was almost unthinkable about a season prior. But it could very well be possible for the Dutchman to clinch it here today. Kenzo has always been very strong in these conditions in the early season, but he's really followed it through with his comeback. Something that's earned him a big accolades throughout his peers. This is what these two are battling for. 5/10 separating over. Out from an exit. That in the background would be Battle War, I believe. It is indeed so. And look at the gap that's actually clawed up big time for Kenzo's favour. Over to the Lesmo they'll go. A fantastic venue that Monza is really starting to show as a championship finale here. Where the stakes have never been higher. It's all about high speed, high risk. The fact that these two are still actually racing and still as close as ever is still... Here we go. Final corner. Here we go. Kenzo trying to have a look around through Lorenzo, but Lorenzo does not move a muscle. Keeps onto the racing line, does not respond at all. And that might be for the best, because he might be feeling what Kenzo has got up his sleeve. So close here. Oop, is there opportunity that I sense somewhere? It's not gonna be quite close. Kenzo, you got the power of baguette and anime on your side. A lot of people are cheering for different people. One got for Kenzo, one got for Lorenzo. I think the fact that we've got a very different crowd here, representing different wherever they want. That's super close coming for the Parabolica. Not quite enough. That sweet spot must be about like 2/10 or so. If you just close that gap a bit, then it's enough to make the move. And here we go. Kenzo looking there for the outside for turn 1. He has to try and hug it in through. It's so close. Lorenzo, as much as he wants to close the door, cannot do that because Kenzo's front axle was on Lorenzo's rear axle. So that was going to be a collision of some sort. But it's exactly the opening that Kenzo needs once again. And after a long time of waiting to see if a duel would happen again, it's going to happen once again! Kenzo down over through, turn 4 and 4! 3 to 5, that was sheer commitment from the Frenchman! And the fantastic overtake means that he will re-clinch the race lead! Oh, a near spin! A near spin! Is that going to allow for Lorenzo to capitalize on it? The lap traffic available here! And it makes its move out of the way! Still going on! Lorenzo still finds an opening! Ascari upcoming, he's got the outside! Kenzo to the inside! Later on the brakes, Lorenzo goes! That is another pure commitment move! And another equally impressive overtake in the same lap! Lorenzo retakes the race lead! Wow! Just wow! And all this battling going on, you can see Ben Wart is being pulled away as well as it goes on. A bit of lap traffic going in ahead has actually cultivated, and Kenzo's pulled off a bit, and that's not going to be good for him. 2/10 is now pushed over to 8/10, and that's allowed Lorenzo for the cushion that he so awfully desires. And now that means the Dutchman can take a bit of a breather, a little bit for the time being. Going over with Rivera, shuts the door down, takes over for the racing line. There's no obligation for the GT3s to move out of the way. Even with the championship all considered, the fight and balance, it is purely what endurance racing is meant to be. Brady Lorenzo moves him out the way. Kenzo tries to join in through, but he's got stuck in just a little bit than he would have liked. Makes his way past. He's climbing the gap. Subaru on exit. There will go. Another lap traffic a little bit in hand. I'm not sure who that will favor. Bit of lap traffic in the way, just ever so slightly. It's going to... It's about to blow up this week. Lol. Highlight wheel for this. Absolutely. 100% absolutely. Cannot believe my eyes. We'll have a look through the rest of the field as it goes. Bartels now onto the lead as he's actually done a very good job from where he has been. Heil Horman has seemed to be stuck over through on fourth. So blue flag to warn for one of the Cadillacs out of the way. Okay, chance for Kenzo and Lorenzo to maybe have a bit of a battle once again. Just slowly coming up. Check warp, please. K, thanks. Check warp. Check Brian. Sorry. Sorry. Here we go. Emmett's between Ryan and Benito. Still for 7th. It's almost catching up a little bit. I'm sorry for this, Maverick. I'm very sorry about that. Sorry about for the long pause, everyone. We're back now. 1 minute, 1 hour and 21 minutes left over to go. And you can sort of see the gap is closing back over between Kenzo and Lorenzo. A chance for a third duel here in the coverage of the Phoenix Le Mans series. Out from an exit though. Look how close Kenzo is to Lorenzo. Very wide exit that he'll go. Back around, a chance to make a move. Maybe Kenzo's going to look down for which one will score about. Look to the inside, right to the outside. Now back over to the outside. Very, very close. Oh, goodness me. Wibbly up for an exit. Here we go. The slipstream from Kenzo is going to make out a third duel over the round. Looks over to the inside, right down to the outside. Is the slipstream going to be enough to carry Kenzo through this corner? We'll have to see. Side by side, it surely should be enough. Bit of contact. Kenzo has a little bit of an edge up ahead, but Lorenzo will have the inside line. Coming over that for turn 2. Side by side, the Peugeot's made contact once again. Again for the championship lead. It's all going to be at hand though. Still side by side. Barely making contact once again as they're going to approach over that for turn 4. Lorenzo holds around for the outside line, a bit of enough, but it happens almost! Kenzo's into the gravel! Ray joins up and Lorenzo will be ahead. Kenzo must be absolutely furious with that maneuver, but Lorenzo will still just about hold on through to the lead for the time being. Goodness me, and I think for the first time ever, it has finally. The third duel is where it garners just a tiny bit of controversy between these two. But whenever you're racing that hard for that long, it's bound to happen some way or some shape or form. It probably is going to go right to the end, Maverick. It probably is. Wide on exit, Kenzo holds straight down through the middle. And he's going to be the first one to budge into the pits. Lorenzo does as well, so they both got into the pits, and that's going to allow for someone else well down in the background also making a pit stop. I do apologise for the silence that I did have. Ryan Wirt will exit out the pits as well, where he joins in 9th. Lorenzo has to exit out first, I believe, so this is going to be interesting how he'll have to exit out. But so will Kenzo as well, because Kenzo's kind of stuck too. Benito Luis, new race leader. Kenzo taking a long time to box, actually. Ben has jumped Kenzo. Lorenzo's the one that's going to be lead, followed by Ben. As that will be, not sure that will be. I think that might have been, don't know. Kenzo X is up through in net third. That behind will be Yannick. Lorenzo with the undercut. He must be on the same tires, right? No, they're all pitted. I think they've all must have pitted. They've all effectively undercut each other, which means that they're all pitting early. I'm not sure why Kenzo has pitted as early as he has pitted as long as he did, unless it could mean the fuel. Actually, that could be a good point. Fuel. Let's see. Energy remaining. Yellow flag somewhere. Bjorn Rasmussen is where the yellow flag displayed for. Only one retirement so far in Rumington, which is quite impressive. Anyways, the virtual energy, Luis and Walter, the next one's in. Confirmation Hendricks has got 80% in. Hypers. We'll look over for to the. We must be in the same tires, maybe. Kenzo 78 compared to Hendrick 79. So it's not added energy. So tires. It's the tires. Yeah, they're all on the same tires. Yeah, they are. Walter, Jurgen, and Luis all in. Luis is the one that's going to exit through. Evo, last driver yet to pit. So it does seem to be a longer pit stop. Hayo exits out through on the lead. Bartels, Klapper, all following the same. I think Hayo must have taken the race lead at some point. 1:13 to go, 73 minutes. Part 2 somewhere. Bellman, Rivera. Evo is 3.4 seconds off. Ryan Wart and Benito might be in the midst of a battle for P7 though. But yeah, that's your confirmations. Thank you all very much for the 10 viewers for still sticking by. Apologies for the silence again. Class leaders up to the top, Frantics and Horman now as it stands. Yeah, now closest we have between Wart and Luis is 3/10. 72 minutes left to go. Side by side between Wart. Oh my goodness me, that was so close. Wart just ahead for Luis. Luis, I think a little bit iffy with that maneuver. And Evo finally managed to make the pit stop, has now dropped over to 9th. Luis could be seeing a position drop though. Does defend a little bit from Urine, but not quite enough. It is enough to retain the position. Ooh, but a bit offline through the corner 5. Prevents that. The Betway, Ryan Ward has done so, and that means about 9 tenths off from the lead. Six, 67 minutes left to go. Walter into the pits. That might be scheduled, and that will allow him to jump up a little bit off. You can have a look for the number of stops as well. I think everyone bar Remington who is not finished is all at 1, which is fun. Six. I absolutely did do that on purpose. Oh. Walter does make his second pit stop, so that means he's down to 9th. Funniest number existence. Exactly. Exactly, yeah, precisely. It is going to be a very, very long race. So, again, buckle up, everyone. We'll go over to the GT3s to see. The story is, everyone has made their scheduled pit stop, so Horman is indeed leading. From that. Rasmussen about a lap down or so. As soon as I say that, he now makes his scheduled pit stop. Another pit stop. I think might be unscheduled this time. Now him and Oliver, the only ones to make two-stoppers here. Ryan Ward 10, Joran Jürgen. Closest battle we have now on track, 9/10. So Warren does X out through the pits. No, he doesn't. It says pit out, but it still says he's in. I'm not sure about that. The gap between Ward and Jürgen has extended a bit to about more than 1.7 seconds, which means that the closest battle we have on track is gone. Which means that it just only leaves Lorenzo. Yes, it is. Lorenzo still holds on through to the lead, fairly comfortable. So when do we start? When they... Oh come on, Hellcat! No. I wish. I wish. I mean, to be fair, this isn't really the location to be talking about alternatives to cake at 2:30 in the morning. Nor is it 2:30 in the morning yet. It's in Italy, I believe it is 11 o'clock. Bourne now finally exits out for the pits. Hal Horman has overtaken on track. That means that he's going to be in the midst of the GT3s. Jürgen and Louise. Catch up, maybe? Could be possible. Alex Sidler is still 4th, Ryan Ward 5th. Kenzo currently in 3rd. .61 left, and I think Bjorn will axe out for the final corner to make our first on-track overtake very soon. Swings on past by Clapper for net P10 or net P11. Corman just up ahead. A few seconds. 5 seconds up. Catch up. Kenzo, Ben, gently developing between those two. 135.8 has been the best from Kenzo, with a 136.5 by Ben. And by Lito and company. Ooh, goodness me, that is very, very close. With a little bit of a defense, but it's perfectly fine, perfectly okay. Hey, it worked. Okay. Brady and Rivera closing up a little bit. So these two can be battling up for themselves. Which is love the culinary, don't they? It's in the kitchen. Is Kenzo catching it all? I thought. How? Is Kenzo catching it all? I thought he'll change tires so would be flying this stint. Yeah, I thought so too. He is catching just a little bit. He's now about within a second to Ben. Brady and Rivera. Ooh, goodness me, side by side on the on the exit of Lesmo. Worst exit for Brady means that Rivera gets past through into fourth. Slipstream now. Anything in the tank to fight back? Nope. See the closest one, Ben. Ben just got overtaken by Kenzo so quickly. Blink and you miss it. Bloody, my goodness me. Whoa. Okay, I was shocked by that. I thought it was something that might develop, but no. Brady catching up a bit, so we'll keep an eye between Kenzo and Lorenzo. Brady and Rivera, also keep an eye on them. They're about 8/10 off between each other. Matching up a bit. The gap between Kenzo and Lorenzo is 7 tenths. I agree. I agree. Nigerian series is pretty good. Oh, yellow flag somewhere. So yellow flag somewhere. Where? Oh, that is Yannick Sedlar. He's gone off on one of the first last mows. Is that going to be too costly for him? It shouldn't be. About 26 seconds off. Gap between Kenzo and Lorenzo is cut down to 5 tenths. So it's 6.5 seconds down to 6.3. Well, it's under an hour. 52 minutes left to go. I do apologise for a bit of the cut-offs and stuff. Some stuff has happened. Thank you very much, Ari Johnson 099 for the posture check. And I can see over the comments here with the 292 cheers as well as Sunlight goes through. Bit champion of what? The gap has now gone over to 5 tenths and 6. That is Kenzo utilizing the slipstream of, I believe that might have been Rasmussen. It was Rasmussen, so he's doing everything he possibly can to find those tenths and claw back down. The 1v1 battle lives to tell the tale. The gap will change over. Guys spend money on better things. Okay. I believe you. Slowly it's going to cut down to about 5 tenths, so let's spread this towards the most awesome streamers ever. Never change, Maverick. Never change. Slowly reaching over through the halfway point between Kenzo and Ben. That sweet, sweet half spot that we're thinking of. Buy the merch from Phoenix and Sports, so use their discount code on blank. Aztec, yeah, we've got use the code Phoenix Sim Sports for 5% out on checkout. Sweet 5%. You'll never find 5% deals anywhere else. Also helps us support the series, I would imagine. Maxime Belgier is gifted a tier 1 sub. Oh, wow. Oh, hello, Kyokiri46. Where have I seen you before? Thanks, Maxime, for the gift of a sub, and thank you, Kyokiri46, for accepting it. I'm kidding. I know who they are. They must have heard me saying I'm commentating for 2 hours and saying, what? No way. And, yep. Yes, wait. And quick rundown with the 15 minutes left to go. We've got about Hendricks holds on to the championship lead. 13 points is the gap between Hendricks and Kenzo. Kenzo needs to win. Erie Johnson, 0. Jesus Christ. What on earth, Maxime? What are you doing? What? What? Maverick, I think he deserves to be lifted the... I think he deserves to lift... I think he deserves to be lifted the... Yeah, Maverick, you need to remove Maxime of his disqualification now. It's now simply unfair to someone that's gifted that many subs. 13 insults. Gee. Yes. Pay to get removed disqualification. Yes, it does. It does. No bias. Tier sub champion. Yes, the sub that only matters. Ben's actually caught up, I've realized, a little bit. So Kenzo's a little bit languishing just a little bit as Kenzo tries to move out of his way. Minus 3 penalty points for 10 subs. Yeah, exactly. You understand that. No, it's minus 3 penalty points for every... No. Every sub is minus 1 penalty point, so he's got 10 subs, so that's 10, I believe. The graphic has changed, which means that Kenzo is now closer to Lorenzo than he is closer to Ben, which means that that gap between Cruz, Chamblin, and Ward has, while it has indeed reduced, it's still gone no less more than 5 seconds. And then after that, now it's between, so he's still got 30 points. What did he get 30 points for? What was it for Portimao that he got 30 points for? Because that's a bit that's a little bit harsh in my opinion. I mean, all respect to the stewards, but I know commentators aren't allowed to have opinions, but I still find that just a little bit harsh, especially whenever it was a hardware issue. I can understand maybe being a DNF, maybe, or a disqualification from the race, sure, but a season one, come on. 47 minutes left to go. Yeah, so it's caught up a little bit. Warped Ghost was taken, thanks mate. Yep. Everyone's indeed thanking him. Kenzo is indeed the fastest one out on track though. 35.8 is indeed was his best time. Compared to Lorenzo, has done a 36.1. So he's been about, on this best lap, he's been about 3 tenths quicker? 3 tenths quicker than Lorenzo has. Of course, the gap down to 4.3. Yannick Sedlar, next driver into the pits. He's the first of the hypercars, I believe, to make a pit stop. But of course, he was running with a little bit of damage ever since he's gone off through the first Lesmo about 10 minutes or so ago. Yurin Yogan on his debut, gonna claim a respectable P5 on his debut, which is very, very good. Yannick Sedlar, though, really seems to be taking the accolade for best of the rest. Went a bit much into the curb, though. You can see the Lorenzo in the background there as he makes his way past over through one of the BMWs. I believe that might have been Rivera, and well, I was right. It was Rivera. Well done, me. Yes, final will still go ahead. Okay, still got 30 points. Lol. You're welcome. Be Indie Race Sunday. 69 cheers. Yes, final will still go ahead. Arabian Championship of the Twitch, Brody. He is. He actually is. He's got 39 to 31 to 28. How sweet. How adorably sweet. love winter break. Everyone does. Everyone does. It's even the F1 fans' favorite time of year. I know you said winter, not wither. I know, don't worry about it. 3.4 seconds. Wart is actually pulling away, and actually Ben and Ryan are 3rd and 4th. It's been a while actually since the brothers have finished ahead of each other. Uh, 44 minutes left to go. Gap between it's now gone down to 3 seconds now. That's pushed up to 6 between Kenzo and Ben. So Ben is so Kenzo's gained about a second or so. Still might not be enough, but he is definitely trying to give it his all. Lorenzo just lost 1 second. What the hell's happened? Is Kenzo better or something? No, it's I think from what we've maybe have confirmed from the longer pit stop, it is a change of tires that Kenzo did that Lorenzo didn't. In fact, I think Lorenzo in the top 3 was the only one that didn't change. Sorry, Kenzo was the only one of the top 3 that did change tires, and as a result, Enzo finds himself, I think, on better pace. He finished off like I think 10 seconds or so behind. No, 5 seconds behind Wart, but managed to overtake Ben and Wart for P3 for P2, and is now catching up to Lorenzo. But Lorenzo's best guess is to hope. Again, Lorenzo's not really aiming for a race win here. Kenzo is. Lorenzo just needs to aim for, at worst, he's on no, yeah, that's the topics ongoing right now. I think Maverick's thing does seem plausible. Does explain why that he has caught up a bit. It's not a change of compound as we both initially thought, but I think a change of tires might be that. So it is possible that we go there for yellow flag somewhere. A very brief one. Wonder what happened to someone. Oh, Wormstrand's DNF'd. Wormstrand has DNF, so that's two DNFs we had. Can't tell who that was though. We're right on board with Kenzo. There's 2.7 seconds. Luis and Yogan are the only ones that are ever closer, 2.2 and 2.5 respectively. In the GT3s, the closest gap we have is between Bartos and Rivera, 5.3 seconds. We don't know if that's going to close up any more, but we'll find out very shortly. We know refer to the comments also in the Discord. Let's give the crowd what they want. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yep, Steve is also doing this as well. 2.2. Right, no more spending money on Twitch. I'm gonna get a Phoenix t-shirt soon enough though. I've kind of paid my way to be in commentary next season. You could be a commentator anyways, Maxim. You don't need to pay your way into it. You could just simply say hello. Speaking of hello, Ben! Welcome to the pits! I was surprised about that. 40 minutes left to go. He's the first to enter into the pits. He's trying to achieve an undercut on Lorenzo and Kenzo. And that's interesting news, because that means that the pit window's slowly approaching. That means it's about 2 seconds between Lorenzo and Kenzo. So if Kenzo really wants to make the stick, then he has to do a very long stint or maybe it could be the opposite way. He could be prolonging it as much as he possibly can. Yeah, I know, very smooth. Thank you very much. It's you get to learn it a bit if you're broadcasting and commentating at the same time. 1.8 seconds the gap, and Jürgen is coming up to about 1.4 between himself and Wart, who's got Brady ahead. Let's see here, 1.4 seconds. Yes, you definitely weren't going to get a total free today. And none of the... Lorenzo's not biting the bullet yet. He's not deciding to pit just yet. You can almost feel the anticipation coming in through as Kenzo quickly makes his way through past the GT3. Banter. Yeah, some lucky times with me whenever I go. Just like Portimao, eh? 6. First Portimao about now. ACC. It's been pretty unfair. Definitely give you reassurance for that. 1.3 seconds. See some fight starting to develop a little bit. Ben, who's just exited from the pits, almost seems to be under pressure from Walter, but Walter doesn't seem to be close enough to make an attack. So it's up to determine to see through this battle that with Evo, and I think that is Yannick that is also a lap down. I think he's a lap down. So determine on that to see what he can do. Lorenzo's done everything he possibly can, though. You have to give him all the credit that he's really have given his all here. And this is not just about for the championship lead as well, but also to repeat the same feat that Kenzo did in the previous race. Kenzo has won 3 races, while as Lorenzo has only won 2. So this is a good chance to bring up that accolade as well, to really cement that championship without fail. Otherwise, Kenzo could have been eyeing for his a record, a record this season, 4 wins, and with almost no one in sight. If Lorenzo got 2, then you know it is something that Kenzo can take with him as a consolation prize. On top of that, so that's why these two are like really fighting to the very end. As here we go, Lorenzo. I think that was someone into the pits. That would be Ryan and Oliver. .5, not close enough. Approaching over through to turns 1 through 2. Out from an exit. And we need a new champion too. Lorenzo, hell of a driver, always shows up. We need a new Ryan wasn't that bad of a champion, come on. I mean, yeah, his defense was a bit, I think a little bit underwhelming, I think probably for his standards, but if you tell him, he'll say it's all Ferrari, and you're kind of going to get handed to him. Ferrari does seem to be a car that struggles a lot this season compared to the Peugeot, which gives you a big question for what might be happening next season as Kenzo against Lorenzo. For a very long time, ever since the pit stops happened, we've been our mouths have been watering for another duel, and the last time it's happened, it almost ended in heartbreak for Kenzo, who saw himself on the gravel. And now, almost an hour later, we see him back on to the same position though. Lorenzo, a bit iffy on the exit of Ascari. Means that it's going to be going side by side. A GT3 car in the way. Oh goodness me, it's going to be Brady. But Lorenzo will hold on through to the inside line. But that means Brady's going to swing over through. Lorenzo concedes. Kenzo will take through the lead and holds on through to the inside racing line. But Lorenzo's going to go full on through suit as they both get head into the pits. So both a very short stint. But this time, the roles have switched around. It's Kenzo that, more importantly, enters into the pit lane first than Lorenzo does. Ooh, and Kenzo pit early in his pit box as well. Started a bit early, which means that both of them had to have a few seconds cost time to push themselves into the pit box. Don't think it should be that costly though. Question I have though is, because we've seen previously Lorenzo having to exit for the pits first, that he had to and Lorenzo exits out through once again. Another late pit stop from Kenzo this time, and Lorenzo jumps him. Exit out through the pits. There is Jürgen, who's going to have for the slipstream. And he'll exit on second place. The debutant splits the championship battle in two with 33 minutes left to go. Still has yet to make his scheduled pit stop though. Now he's going to bring on to the challenge against Lorenzo. Lorenzo's going to wait for his tires to warm up. So if he's going to fight, then he has to fit a bit safe though. But then he also probably would prefer to defend it, so when his tires come up to temperature, he can find a way to pull away. Is there any custom bop? Bop is an emoji. Maverick, that's probably why. Virtually the whole race had pit at the same time for some private space. Yep. Is there any custom bop in LMU? I wish there was. I honestly wish there was. It's kind of a bit of a depression that there is no custom bop. You could make some for some fun series too. I don't care if the default bop is good. I want my custom bop. I think everyone does. I'm very thinking this helmet show. I agree. It's a bit of a strain on the third, and a little bit of a shame I had to commentate this on my own, but the 2 hours, it's been hella fun. 17th season through the Phoenix Le Mans series will continue in full swing as Lorenzo goes really deep into turn one. A little bit too deep for his own liking. Kenzo looking into the background to see what could ever benefit from this. And here we go. Jürgen, side by side with Lorenzo Hendricks. The two Dutch people go at it through once again. Down for the inside for turn 4. Does he overcook it a little bit? Lorenzo also overcooks it a little bit. They both go off track. A bit costly between those two. And it's another Dutchman that leads the race. It's the third different race leader out from exit Lorenzo will have against him. Oh, technically not for the apex? Ooh, goodness me. That dirty air from Ascari is very, very costly. Further down behind, I think we're seeing Evo and Ben could be battling out for P. Oh, goodness me, look at that commitment from Ben against Evo. Oh, Evo a little bit sideways from the exit of Ascari. Ben can see it openly. He might be able to go for it. He will be able to do so with the assistance of the GT3 slipstream. Could become to a disadvantage though. Jürgen holds on for the lead. Lorenzo and Kenzo dueling out for it once again. The final corner between Ben and Evo. Ben slipstreaming. Super slipstreaming. Ooh, get his speed back onto the gravel. Kenzo goes. Not quite through for his liking. That late pit stop, I think, might be working for Kenzo. Because he seems to be gaining more and more in Lorenzo. Well, Lorenzo's putting up a hell of a fight. I don't think he was expecting to be under pressure from Jürgen at all. But that battle has kind of cost him vital seconds that would have helped him push away from Kenzo. Well, the fact that those two are continuing to battle has been very costly as Jürgen goes into the pits. Exit from Ascari. Round 2. Ben versus Evo. Is it going to be a same story here once again? Is Evo going to come out on top? No lap traffic inside here as they enter for Parabolica. Holds on down for the inside line. Swings right back onto the outside. Ben with a much better exit now. And the slipstream to his avail will have all the chance in the world to go up against the BMW M Hypercar. He's going to have a look for it. And to no avail. Jürgen Luis in the pits. The second Lesmo on exit for Kenzo. That's the gap between himself and Lorenzo. Oh, not so second. Turn 5, 4, 5. Six, actually. 3-6, the first Lesmo, and then the second one. I am actually getting vertigo. Blinking frustrates me more than his battling. There's loads of tactics for drivers lacking racecraft, in my opinion. I thought the blinking was to show. Kenzo up against Lorenzo. Kenzo's looking for a way to budge, but is there going to be a budge in some ways? Oh, Lorenzo, bit iffy from an exit. Is he going to let him very vulnerable from Kenzo? And it's going to be the 5th time we're going to see the battle here. Once again here, 26 minutes left to go. Is it going to be the final time that we see it? Because Kenzo seems to be much quicker than Lorenzo over the last half of the race. And this could be well and well. Seal the deal here. Down over through the entry onto turn 1. Kenzo absolutely committed. Lorenzo keeps it side by side. Means that he's not one to budge. They're going to continue to go side by side. Out on the exit for 3. Swings around down for 4. Still going to be going side by side. Completely flat out between these two Peugeot drivers. Still everything on the line between these two to grasp the last race win of the season. And it's still side by side as they approach here for the second chicane. Kenzo holds on through. It's opposite. It's been opposite once again. They still managed to hold it through. Lorenzo still holding it for first. Wow. Still holds it in. Fantastic there from Lorenzo. My goodness me, that was an incredible defense from Lorenzo. Almost looked like he missed it. But Kenzo looking to try and again as well. The slipstream 2 is available on the exit of the second Lesmo underneath the old Monza oval. They will go through to Ascari. The dirty air does push Kenzo a little bit away, but not too much. 3/10 off. I think that was Evo or someone that has gone into the pits. 11:44 here in Italian time, I believe. So, very close on to midnight here. Alright, 10:44 as well for GMT. Start finish line, 25 minutes left to go. 3/10 of the gap between Lorenzo and Kenzo. Going over down to 1/10 maybe almost. No, 2.5 tenths is going to be the entry over into the first corner. Kenzo tries to go down for the inside. Lorenzo does not budge. Through the second corner, again Kenzo tries the same thing. Again Lorenzo does not budge. Out from the exit through 2. Swings right on through 3. 3/10. Going over down to under 3/10 now. Ooh, 2.2226 tenths. 226 or 0.226 seconds. The first LMU coming over a little bit of a division. Although look how close Kenzo is to Lorenzo for round 2 of this duel once again. Again, Kenzo can really seal up the deal here. Lorenzo seems to be really struggling to try to defend from that pace. And look at this, Kenzo sees an opening, straight down to the inside for a scoring. Not enough turning radius though between them, but Kenzo commits to it. Is it going to make it and make it stick? It might actually happen. He's thrown onto the sausage curbs. How did he manage to keep it on track? How did he manage to keep it on track? Whoa. Incredible! Those chicanes, those curbs are known for flying around, but Lorenzo holds on through to the inside line of the parabolica. Lap traffic denies Kenzo from able to defend, and Lorenzo once again holds on to the race lead. Incredible! Over now, 2.5 tenths of the gap between Kenzo and Lorenzo. Is it going to be enough for Kenzo to make a pounce here? Down over to 2 tenths. He's going to commit over down for turn 1. Is Lorenzo going to try and cut him off? He is, but not quite enough. And they're going to go side by side out from an exit. Kenzo much earlier on the accelerator than Lorenzo is. Straight down through 3. Side by side once again. For the 7th, for the 8th, for the 9th time. I am not kept count of this throughout this race. Turn 4. Kenzo much later on the brakes. Almost looks like he's going to commit to it, and looks like he's still well and truly has sealed the deal here. The GT3 in the way means that Lorenzo has to follow through with Kenzo's slipstream. But Kenzo, more importantly, I think has sealed the race lead for the time being, at least for the first half of the track. Lorenzo's got about half of the track to respond. He's still super close. 1.3 tenths, 1.2 tenths. Down into a scoring, into the inside line. Not quite close enough. And that could be it. That could be the close that we see between Kenzo and Lorenzo. 22 minutes left to go. Is this the last battle we're going to see between Kenzo and Lorenzo here? For the last race win. Coming down to this wire. They've been fighting in and out for the past hour and a half. And it still doesn't seem to be over. But surely with how well Kenzo has been doing in the second half of the race compared to Lorenzo in terms of pace-wise and his later pit stops, Kenzo may have this in the bag. But it's so undetermined though. It's fine. I've got a glass of water. Don't worry about me. Rasmussen into the pits. Currently, I think Brady and Bartels in a chance of a battle for the moment for P4 in the GT3s. Brady just been out on the podium, and for the streak that he has kept on going for a live. Ironically, the race where his teammate Cater isn't here won't seem to be for that way. And with 20 minutes left to go, that is Bjorn into the pits. He will exit out through, I think, in 10th, in net 12th. We'll have the GT3s to lap again. That gap between Lorenzo and Kenzo does not seem to be falling a little bit anytime soon. The Parabolica, they will go. Ooh. Was that a bit of a costly exit there from Kenzo? Kenzo's not actually pulling away from Lorenzo as I imagined. 3 tenths. Going over down to 2.5 tenths maybe. Down over for the first corner. Lorenzo much more aggressive on the apex than Kenzo does. Pinpoint precision there from the Dutchman. As the French driver, I think being maybe a little bit more conservative, just thinking about the long haul here. Because he's led before, but again, it has been taken away from his hands before. So this time it's for Kenzo to think about, how am I going to make it stick? Oh my goodness me! For the second chicane, that is way too overly cautious there from Kenzo. And that means Lorenzo finds himself back into the picture. The GT3 in the way. I think that might be Bartels. They'll make on their way through. And that's given Kenzo desperate break from him that he's so wanted. And now it's pushed the gap to 5/10. Under 20 minutes left to go. Five tenths off. Jorn's pitting again. That's interesting. I wonder if it will maybe have been a fail pit stop or not. I think we'll have a look for that. Out on exit through the Parabolica. Straight down for the home stretch. 3 tenths. Is it going to be close enough? It's not going to be close enough, but the question is if it will any more pressure that Lorenzo could give to Kenzo at these 9 chimes. Look at that first apex, my goodness me. Greatest follow. I agree. It's been going on for nearly the entire 2 hours almost. The battle between Kenzo and Lorenzo does show how much achievement in the last race win means to them. Because you know the way that they seal and deal. Kenzo looking for his 4th race win. Lorenzo looking for his 3rd race win. Both that accolade is important to each other. Because the way it stands, Lorenzo is going to be champion regardless with a 13-point difference. The 13-point difference, I think if Kenzo wins, Lorenzo comes second. I think it comes down to, I believe, oh my goodness me, you did the math. Someone did the math. I think it was Maverick that did the math earlier. Oh my goodness me, Lorenzo and Kenzo so close to each other. With 17.5 minutes left to go. Kenzo seems to be holding on for dear life on those tires. Right on exit from the Parabolica. It's as close to Lorenzo as got to Kenzo ever since he's been overtaken 3 laps ago. A chance for something special here. Lorenzo finally makes the move. Looks through the outside line. He's going to try and do exactly the same thing Kenzo does. A GT3 car in the way. Sheer commitment for the Dutchman. But is it going to work? A little bit of contact gives them enough racing room. Kenzo better exit and keeps it straighter. It means that he will hold on through the line through turn 3. Ooh, and the GT3 in the way. Almost put his power into the works. Almost. Kenzo, outside line. Lorenzo holds the inside, but that's become the inside for Lorenzo. Holds it in. First Lesbo coming. And Lorenzo, bit squirrely on entry. But still barely keeps them side by side. But an impressive overtake nonetheless. That means Lorenzo has gotten ahead of Kenzo. 16 minutes left to go. And Kenzo got unlapped, I believe. I think that might be by Oliver. It was indeed by Oliver. Oliver found an opportunity and has unlapped himself. I'm not quite sure how much on pace that he has been so to unlap. But that is very ballsy from Oliver. But he is quick enough though. He's catching up with Lorenzo, I think. But could also be a bit of benefit as well to Kenzo through this stretch with a bit of the slipstream. If he is obliged to give it over, we'll probably have to give it over now 6/10. Approach over to 7/10. The gap between Lorenzo and Kenzo. Oliver looking for a move onto Lorenzo. But yeah, that was indeed the gap that we've seen. So catching up with under 15 minutes left to go, we're about 1/8 of the race. Ah, no, my goodness me, Kenzo with the slip and slide on the entry to the first Lesmo. Brady, Bartles, battle for P4. Entry into turn 3. Looks into the inside, coming over through 4 and 5. Yellow flag somewhere. Ben Wart, that's Ben Wart! He has crashed! And for the man that looks certain to be on the podium, Fig might have been taken away from him. Oh, that's so heartbreaking. And that's a retirement for Ben Wart. My God. Bartles and Brady side by side coming over for a sky. This is going to be for P4, and Bartles with a commitment round for the outside. Might make it stick, but Bartles will have the slipstream on exit. 13 to go. And look at that, Brady later on the brakes, round for the outside. And a brilliant move by Bartles. I saw a yellow flag somewhere. Not sure that might be. Yeah, that slipstream that overtake that Kenzo had upon Oliver has, I think, really put a damp on the brakes. That gap that's so close has now extended so far in the span of about 2-3 minutes. It's gone over to about 3 seconds. Must wonder if there must have been some lost time anywhere. Not the man I killed, unfortunately. Oh, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I mean, I can have a look at the replay, but I will have a look. I'll have a look for the replay just to be sure. Because I just want to be sure, because it was like 3 seconds and then it was gone down to 3.1. The question is it a too big of a file for me to play around with? Okay, fine. Point, I will leave alone. Resume. Resume. Come on. Play. Ah. I want to see if it crashed. I didn't know if he collided or not. That's the thing. So, indeed. I think we can go live. Do. Huh. Nah. Yeah, bug. I think it's a bug. It's either a bug or my game, or the game's crashed. Because I think it only does it for such file sizes. Could look to that after the race finishes. The replays do work in the hour-long formats. We're missing on some good stuff. I know. Come on. Come on. Gap was 3.9, so that is probably going to be extended a little bit more with the 10 seconds left to go. Oh, come on, not like this. My game crap. Benji. Really? Huh. I didn't know your game crashed. New? New. Hey, we're back. Woo. Okay. I'm not doing that again. Absolutely not. Nope. Nah. Never, ever again. I am not doing that again. Oh, for God's sakes. I don't know what you did. What did you do? Bar still maybe on the HUD. It was because it was freeze, I think. But we're back in action. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Phoenix Sports. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I think it was just simply an issue. 7 minutes left to go. So we've that mishap cost us that 10-minute mark. So I think it's fair to assume something must have happened between Kenzo and Lorenzo. Commitment over through to the GT car. Kenzo does go. 1.7 seconds. He has a good chance to maybe catch up to Lorenzo. Just a little bit of a while. Oliver does stand in the way between those two. So it's just going to be more than commitment than he'll need. Okay, let's have a look now for the time. 6 minutes. 10 left to go. Kenzo's caught up to Oliver. And this time Oliver's got no chance but to move away. He's just simply cannot close the gap enough. Just a little bit of time actually to Lorenzo. I thought Lorenzo is pulling away a little bit. The gap is bridged a little bit more ever since. Could we be seeing another one? Could see another battle. Pretty possible. Or 6th or 7th battle, maybe? Pretty big ask. For them two to battle, you'll need to expect Kenzo to catch up every, maybe about more than 3/10. Not more than 3/10. You need to be able to catch up like around a second a lap, and then hope for the second one to catch up enough to warrant it. So it needs to have some sort of divine intervention or something. Maybe a mistake. Has happened before. I've had my fair share of it. Against Lorenzo. That's... God, it's so hard. Makes his way past over through all the GT3 traffic. All alongside. 420 left to go. Funny weed number. Not quite heroin, but quite close. Rivera let him cook. Yeah, there's Rivera. Currently about 5/10 off from Klepper. A chance for... Two? Ooh, that's a bit of commotion somewhere going on. Is that... Oh, that's Rasmussen. Oh. Come on, Rasmus. You're so close. He might actually... He might actually do it. But that commotion has left for Klepper and Rivera to be in a battle for the podium places here, with only 3 minutes and 30 left to go. The two BMWs expected to be in a fight. Ooh, goodness me. Attention up ahead as Kenzo. I think that might be against Evo. It is Evo for a lapped position. 240 left to go. Klepper, Rivera, the slipstream available to his advantage. A chance to clinch P2 from Klepper. Important accolade as well. Heidel Horman is going to become the first driver since whoever won a round 1 to win on his debut in the GT3s in a very impressive accolade. Klepper on chance for his career best, well, season best second place. He only ever achieved the podium once this season, well as Rivera is aiming for his 4th second place and making it his second in a row after the previous round. So that's what these two are really fighting it for. 140 left to go. Somewhere, yellow flag. Oh, and that is Klepper trying to defend from Rivera. Yellow flag somewhere. Not sure where that is. That is a very big latency issue. But Klepper defends brilliantly. $60 seconds left to go. Klepper still doing his best to defend from Rivera again. Chance for very valuable points here. 50 seconds. A long 120 minutes. Feat very, very hard to do by yourself solo. Some endurance races, it's often have a limit to 1.5 hours maybe at most or so. It is certainly slowly starting to give up. Ooh, on Rasmussen. That'll seem to be knocked over a bat. And here we go. Timer is slowly ticking down with 10 seconds left to go. Rivera almost has to look down for the inside, but he's not quite close enough. We'll stick down behind. The 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. And that is the end of the race. Lorenzo seems well clear ahead of Kenzo. And what can you say? What has it been? An incredible fight this has been. Final battle though, position between Klepper and Rivera, side by side, on through 4, through to 5, still gonna hold side by side. Klepper barely holding on to P2, Rivera trying to get another P2, down into the inside of the first Lesmo. Lorenzo through the final corner. Up until then, he hasn't been a race winner until the start of the season. Now he can call himself a champion. He is the champion of the Phoenix Le Mans Series Hypercar division. Congratulations to Lorenzo. As further duck behind, Klepper manages to make the overtake onto Rivera. Rivera trying to make his way through, but no avail to the Puerto Rican just yet for Ascari. Through an exit, and nothing yet. Kenzo follows on through to achieve a very, very impressive second place. Not enough to clinch the championship, but enough to share the accolade with Lorenzo of having 3 race wins in a season, as Rivera, for the final corner, manages to make the overtake past Klepper at the very, very last corner. Hal Horman takes a debut win here at Phoenix Esports, but it is Kevin Rivera manages to steal second place from Sever Klepper at the very last moment to take his another 4th second place this season for the Puerto Rican, while Klepper equals to 2 podium places, 2 podium finishes through to his name. Yurin Yogan makes it a Dutch 1-3, and to add to Lorenzo's happiness, he will be finishing through his debut in 3rd place for Phoenix Sim Sports. Benito Luis goes across the line through on 4th. Ryan Ward joins on through. The championship defense, not quite what he wanted, but at least he got a podium through to his name. Oliver Walter records over for his best result through in 6th, with Eva in 7th. And Yannick Sedlar, for the best of the rest, struggled immensely in the second half to only be through into 8th. It's Klepper then, completed over through to the podium places. Mihail Bartels just misses out through in the podium place at the last moment for 4th, with Stuart Brady over in 5th. That is his podium streak over and done with, but still, the most impressive streak we've had so far in the GT3s. Howard Cock over in 6th, with Samuel Bellman in 7th, and Paul Shabor completes over through to what has only been an 8-car finishing grid here in the GT3s. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And an impressive feat from everyone. Big thank you to everyone that has been watching through these through these races. And of course, as we have got the confirmation, Hendricks is the season 16 champion. And a very, very impressive accolade that the Dutchman has indeed got for him there. Enzo through 2nd with the 10th behind, with Jurgen 3rd, with Benito Luis 4th, Ryan Ward 5th, Oliver Walter 6th, Eva Frantic 7th, Yannick Sedlar 8th, Bjorn Rasmussen 9th. Ben Ward has only been the only retirement in 10th. The GT3s, a similar story. Hal Horman, a fantastic race win for himself, manages to win on strategy from his first mishap with Ken Rivera. Rivera, who had to suffer for his drive-through penalty in earlier, manages to recover himself up in a second, and it is Klepper that unfortunately missed out for on P2, but will still be very impressed with 3rd, with Hal Bartels on 4th, Brady 5th, Howard Cox 6th, Samuel Bellman 7th, Paul Shabor 8th, Emmerich Wormstrand 9th, with Emmerich Wormstrand and Royal Pickdill do not finish due to retirements, and the same can be said also for, I think that is it. Who am I missing? Town. Romington. Romington is also the other DNF as well. A fantastic season that has been, honestly, from everyone from across the board. Yeah, just fantastic. I think it is safe to say we can do interviews. I may want to be quick, but it's fine. It's I'm saying it because it's coming up to my bedtime, but nah, not really. I can have time for a very long interview session. I think it is incredibly well deserved, especially for Lorenzo. And indeed, as Leo says, a last minute overtake as well is what truly seals the deal here today. And absolutely fantastic. Uh, absolutely fantastic there from everyone around. Thanks, Maxine. I'll happily do it. I'll wait around for a little bit just to see if anyone wants to do interviews. If not, we can wrap it up in the championship. Fantastic season this has honestly been, and very, very phenomenal from start all the way right down to the finish. So, what can I say? Massive congratulations over to Lorenzo Hendricks for clinching the Hypercar championship here for season 16. And congratulations as well to Bradley Cater, another GT3 title accolade to Phoenix Simsport Le Mans series as well. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant from all around, I must say. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have been commentating here for as long as I did. Uh, it's been phenomenal, honestly, to have commentated this series, and I've been very, very fortunate to have commentated throughout all of its excitement, all of its glory, and for all of its fantastic moments, the little ones and the big ones. It's honestly been just an absolute pleasure, and yeah, it's I'm honestly lost for words. The final championship does look like this. So, the GT3s will start with first Bradley Cater, 288 points. His no show means that he does not get another race win. So, the lowest position he did finish was indeed this one with his no show. So, with the drop round, he would have still been championship anyways. And that at least is somewhat of a good news because Stuart Brady, that finished fifth, means that that gap is not 100 points, but it is only just um, 89 points for the gap. And then further back there between Brady and Klepper. Klepper getting another podium means that he clinches through third in the championship, beats out for Wormstrand, who only finished ninth at the end. So Klepper, the Norwegian, gets to a podium accolade through in his Le Mans career. Samuel Bellman completes our through to the top 5, 108 points, with Emma Wormstrand 114, with Karen Rivera just outside of that, 87 points, to finish over for with 6, with Michael Bartels, 79 points for himself after finishing 4th. Very good for him. For a person that only finished 3 races, Bartels has actually been pretty incredible, especially picking up for his first win over at Interlagos. James Booth over at 8th with his 4 races means that he'll complete over for with 74 points, 5 adrift from Bartels, with Howard de Kock further back down with 59 points, but will still be ahead of Spokushkas with his 3 appearances. 43 points in total is what the Lithuanian can do. And then with Bradley Cater with 1 champion, who has successfully defended his crown, a new champion is crowned in the hypercars. Lorenzo Hendricks, 224 points, does beat Kenzo Christian Plin. That 13-point gap has been extended at the end to 24 points. Kenzo Christian Plin, all that he possibly could. Second was all that he could possibly do, but it means that both Lorenzo and Kenzo are the only drivers in this season in the hypercars to have clinched 3 race wins, with Lorenzo clinching it in Interlagos, Silverstone, and here in Monza, with Kenzo clinching it in Bahrain, round 9 and round 5. Ben Award, best of the rest, 123 points. Was a prime championship contender up until midway through the season. He will still be extremely happy with that upon his first return to the hypercar discipline. Daniel Goshlak, his 4 appearances cultivates into 3 race wins, but not quite enough to get quite close enough to there. So Lorenzo, Kenzo, and Daniel, my apologies, are the 3 drivers that have got 3 race wins in a row. Daniel was the first person to achieve this feat, followed by Kenzo and then Lorenzo. Actually, the last 3 races was both of them clinching that achievement for themselves. Duff Myers, Daniel Goshlak, Duff Myers, both into the Porsches, so Duff Myers does lose out for that. His second place last time round was enough to take 4th place away from Daniel. 5 points adrift between Duff and Daniel. With Ryan Wart, the championship defender, could not clinch a race win unlike last season, but will still be pretty happy with that with his struggling Ferrari. Second was the highlight of his season. Eva Francis, a midfielder regular with really good strong promise in the final half of the season. 2 consecutive 7 places was enough for himself to get 60 points, which is enough to beat David Cheeky for P7, with David Cheeky 59 points to Francis 60. Benita Louise over in 9th with 58 points, so that is about 1 point in each adrift. So between Louise, Cheeky, and Francis, it is 58, 59, and 60 respectively. Louise 4 points. Gobs up to 4th. If you got on 3rd, it would have been enough to take 7th, but he'll have to unfortunately just hold on to 9th, with Yannick Sedlar enough with the 8th place finish to clinch into the top 10. And a fantastic result that has been for the Austrian, especially for the man that has struggled so much at the Aston Martin. I've got confirmation we can do interviews, so I will do the interviews nice and quick. So, apologies for that. Okay, there we go. My apologies. I'll wait for everyone to quickly join in. I went through the final championship standings, and what an exciting 2 hours that has indeed been. Lorenzo, I'll start with you. Congratulations on your the hypercar championship. I think it must be an incredible feat to have. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, I still can't believe it really. It was the most insane race I've ever had, with the most insane battles and most wheel-to-wheel action I've ever had. And yeah, it's an honor to have Kenzo be able to race me for this championship, because oh boy did I enjoy it. It was the best race probably I've ever driven.
It really seemed to be a flawless performance from you, from qualifying all the way down to the first half of the race. I mean, considering the fact that you probably did not have to fight as much as Kenzo did to win the championship, we can immediately feel like you still gave it your all. So your qualifying was extremely impressive. Did you think you were going to get pole position for your last lap?
I did not expect it. I made so many mistakes on the lap, and I thought, okay, yeah, it's a goner. The last lap, even I didn't even finish it because I just made a mistake in T1. But then I looked at the leaderboard and I saw Kenzo in the box, so I was very confused. And then I saw two cars jump ahead, and I was like, what the hell happened? And then I was so ecstatic. And then at the race start, I don't know what happened, but the Aston Martin beside me just was not there. He was so far back, and then I had that jump. Uh, but yeah, Kenzo had that good start of his, so he was immediately behind me. So yeah, that was a quick one to begin the championship. But yeah, it was the most insane qualifying, and probably most intense.
The race from your perspective, I mean, I think I've never seen a race like that in my life where I've seen two cars battle out for the entire 2 hours. Even when it seemed strategy would split you guys apart with Kenzo doing longer pit stops, he would still find a way to claw back in and you two would duel once again. So, which of the. How did it feel from your perspective having those battles with Kenzo throughout the race?
It's a real privilege to have that, because I expected to be behind Kenzo. Um, but yeah, and then the first battle started, and then I was thinking, okay, this is gonna last probably a long time. And there were so many moves where I thought one of us would crash, but still we continued on side by side even. And yeah, I that all couldn't happen if there wasn't a great second driver beside me.
That's honestly a very nice way of putting it. But yeah, I mean that this accolade of you taking the race win joins along with Gosh like Endo, so Kenzo that you've just beaten for. You three are the only drivers through the hypercars to have clinched 3 race wins this season. So massive, impressive feat for that. But now that you've been champion and you've also, at the start of the season, when you clinched your first Phoenix Le Mans series win, did you ever think you were going to go all the way to the championship?
No, I thought that race win was gonna be the only one. But I thought I was gonna fight for podiums, but I did not imagine to be fighting at the top for the championship. So many things happened outside of my control, basically, that basically brought me into this championship more than I thought I was gonna be. And then the last two races before this race happened, and then the hope started to go down. But yeah, this race just finished it all.
Final question from you. This is in regards to the season as a whole. Um, as the season 16 champion, looking over for the entire season, what would you say has been your most fondest moment en route to your championship?
Well, I think I've got two moments. Obviously, the first win, that battle with Ben Ward. It was, yeah, at the time the most intense one. But yeah, then came Monza around, and then yeah, it was a whole next level. So yeah, this race will always be remembered.
It certainly will be remembered for everyone here at Phoenix Sports. Massive congratulations, Lorenzo, and party hard. You well and truly deserved it.
Thank you.
Kenzo, over to you. Um,
No.
fantastic, fantastic race. Honestly, I know you've come in second place, but that was you really did give it your all, and honestly, that was just fantastic to watch. How do you feel?
Well, I cannot feel sad about that because actually it was probably the best race I ever had in my whole career. The most intense race, the most challenging race, the most. I think we can call everything the most for this race. But yeah, even if it's only happy to not even win, but not the championship win, still an amazing race. It's an amazing feeling to end a season like that. Like I was talking about with Lorenzo before the race, and we say like we're gonna give what the crowd wanted for the whole season, and we indeed do that. I think we did like a whole season fight in one single race.
That is honestly 100% true. I honestly cannot agree more. It was a bit different from you though because you've uh unlike Lorenzo that started up in the lead. I think there was 3 cars. You started fourth or fifth, I believe, in
I
qualifying.
start fourth.
You started fourth. Yeah, indeed. So it was a bit of a harder challenge for you, especially when you consider the things that you needed to clinch this championship today. But uh, fantastic start though. Did you think, like in the approach to turn one, you were going to have as good as a start as you did when you were going 3 wide with second and third place?
Yes. Obviously, if I start thinking that I will not have a good start or will not be ahead, I will be always slow and behind everybody. So, and I'm very confident about my braking technique. So that pretty that no that like people are like really overtaking me first lap right on the brake. It's not happened quite often. So yeah, that was, I mean, I just when the start when we were like rolling for the start, just keep my head down, try to do everything to all the things to put the best that I can had, and well, that worked pretty well. I jumped the car ahead of me, and after that, after lap, after the finish of lap 1, I was right behind Lorenzo. So probably the best start of my life since I can consider like the cars that jump real quick, the reaction times that I had.
Absolutely. Ever since you've made that daring overtake to take second place and, as you said, catch up to Lorenzo, what can be described as a fantastic series of moments where you and Lorenzo both battled. In your eyes, what was your favorite moment in amongst that battle with Lorenzo throughout the race?
I mean, the Ascari overtake so we've done was crazy. Like one lap, I overtake him on the outside in Ascari, and he did the same the other lap. Crazy stuff. How is that even possible? Lorenzo, you have some strange technique to copy my driving style, I swear. But yeah, I think I don't have like a favorite moment in this race. The world race have been amazing.
Curious over from my perspective, and I think Maverick and a lot of people are also trying to, I guess, put our tinfoil hats on. Lorenzo seemed to have quicker pit stops than you. Was it because you were changing tires quicker than him, or was it
Yes,
your
I
more?
changed tires. And I like the pace were very close. We were really fighting wheel to wheel, so we had the same pace. I say, fuck it, if I'm faster than him, I'm gonna lose 12 seconds, I'm gonna catch up real quick. It was a good catch until he started to become Max Verstappen and decided to gain hella pace with dead tires. This like really when I was doing like 36, nearly 35, and he was doing the same lap time as me. At the
Wait,
end of the race, I was
Lorenzo.
like, how?
Wait, Lorenzo, you didn't change tires.
No, I didn't. The entire race. I
What?
started on my tires that I started the race on.
What? What?
They told you
How?
this guy is crazy.
Well, I have no idea as well. I thought I fumbled it that with not getting new tires, but yeah, somehow I found pace, and I didn't know how. But yeah, it was. I have no idea how my tires survived. Maybe someone blessed me with them.
I wish I could swear. I cannot believe it. Wow, that's incredible. Um, Second place for you, Kenzo. Still, it's honestly still a very impressive feat. As I mentioned, you, Lorenzo, and Daniel have got 3 race wins throughout the season. A fantastic battle going right onto the wire. Uh, as a vice champion, what has been your favorite moment?
My favorite moment this season is when I won in Portimao. Probably the thing that I least expect since I hate this track. I was like, okay, finally my revenge on this horrible track.
If you could win it, your most hated track, you could win it anything.
Yeah, that race is crazy. I hate Brunsatch and Portimao and won on both when in different series. How, I don't know, but I won, so keep that in my mind somewhere.
Thanks very much, Kenzo, for the talk, and honestly, massive congratulations for the race you've had. Do celebrate.
Yeah, thank you.
Lappa, finally on to you. A P3 on a GT3. It's your equaling your best result in the GT2 class. How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty well. I came into a race hoping to beat Wormstrand. Needed 7 points over him to get P3 in the championship. So yeah, I didn't aim this high, but yeah, it's a pretty good race.
The preparation for Monza, it's a track unlike we've raced before, but especially for the GT3s, especially because it's sometimes can be a bit of a difficulty to handle in some cases. How did you feel with preparing the GT3s for Monza?
I mean, for me it was pretty easy. I just cruised through the entire race, and yeah, I heard a lot of people complaining about track limits, but I didn't get basically any. I got 0.5, I think. So yeah, and I stayed on track, didn't make a mistake, and yeah, just kept the race clean.
An intense battle as well. I think Rivera had to suffer a drive-through penalty. I think it was for jumping the start, and then a bit of a collision also happened between I think it was Rivera and the race winner. So how did it feel? Because that left the door almost completely wide open to see, at least for the first half of the race, to see who would take charge. How did that feel from your position?
I mean, the collision they had was not great because I ended up getting damage from that. But yeah, after that, Kevin was gone basically, so I had pretty clear room of him, and also Bartels got the 10 seconds, so I just knew I had to keep with him. And Wormstrand was struggling a lot, and also, but yeah, Horman was fast, and I always knew he was gonna come back and win when I saw the timings go down. So yeah, I was always aiming for a podium, but nothing more than that really.
Did you said that you were expecting Rivera to eventually catch up, but talk us through what was going through your mind in those final stages whenever Rivera did catch up a little bit, and with a few minutes to go, you two battled until right to the very end.
Yeah, obviously I knew he had better tires because he changed during the first pit stop, and then the hypercar didn't really help getting in our way. But yeah, it made it close, and yeah, I knew he wouldn't make something too drastic because we're in the same team. But yeah, in the end, he had way better tires, and I caught him a bit off in the last corner there. So yeah.
A superb P3, nonetheless, for you, Club. As mentioned before, huge congratulations through on a well-deserved P3 on the constructors. You're on the drivers GT3 standings. You're now the superior Norwegian. What has been your what has been your favorite moment of this season for you?
It was probably this race, or either this or in Silverstone. But yeah, definitely one of the two podiums. Yeah.
Massive congratulations, Klappa. Extremely, extremely well deserved. Thank you, Kenzo. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you, Selvert, for your time for the interviews. And also thanks as well for the time that you've taken throughout the season to not only race but also to do these interviews. It's been an absolute pleasure to interview you all, and hope you all get to celebrate well.
Thank you.
Alright, that has been us for the commentary. Thank you very much again to Council Lorenzo and for Slevert for the interviews today, and also to Maverick for telling me that there are people willing to be interviewed. To all the viewers that have watched, I think it was like 20 or so, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you're in Yogan as well for the follow. And, well, it's been incredible. Lorenzo finally can call himself a champion, with Bradley Cater defending his crown once again to become another GT3 championship winner. That's been it for round 16 of the Phoenix Sim Sports Le Mans series. It's been absolute pleasure to commentate here for the last 10 races. It's been my 15th race almost in total since I've commentated this, or 14th since I've commentated for the series, and one where it lies will means that a new chapter slowly begins. With the 16th season now drawn to a close, the 17th season of the Le Mans series is coming very soon. It's going to happen around same time, same place, with the expected schedule expected to announce. The 10th of January is where we're going to make our very grand return, as Portimao this time is going to be the one that's going to host this time around, as Circuit of the Americas will be for the next one, the national circuit, followed by Imola, and then over to the Sakir outer circuit in round 4, following over to Fuji to mark the midpoint through the season, following through with Lusail and Qatar, Sebring for round 7, back over to Silverstone for a fan favourite in round 8, Interlagos for the 9th round, before coming over to the final round. It is Le Mans this time that was going to host the final round. That was going to happen between the dates of January the 10th over to March the 21st of next year in 2026. So until then, Lorenzo has been crowned the final champion of this year, and after it's been a very, very impressive series from all around, thank you very much to everyone at Phoenix Sim Sports for this massive pleasure for commentating. Thank you all to the viewers for have been watching. And thank you very much to Miru Gwebi and Yuho Sapna as well for their work of their commentary throughout the season. And again, thank you very much to all the drivers that have partaken in this series and also taken the time to interview as well. Until then, I've been Amir Oates. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you over at next season for season 17 of the Le Mans series.